Hey,
How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Mm, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, busy, good.
I'm sending you a
Yeah.
cool video. I got into mushroom farming this week.
Really? It's something I
Yeah,
looked into a few weeks ago, a few years
isn't that
ago,
funny? Oh yeah.
not weeks ago, a few years ago. Yeah, I had some books on it. I think I've still got them. Yeah, I looked into it like I can't remember how many years ago. So what are you doing?
I'm growing pink oyster mushrooms right now. Bought like a tent, like a humidity tent and humidifier and like like some off the shelf kits to try and see if I like them. I've never even had the mushrooms before, but I like mushrooms.
Hmm.
Um,
Where have you sent me this link, by the way?
I texted you hopefully it was sent to you. Yeah, I texted you a video on
Okay.
iMessage. So they just started to sprout like yesterday and they already look fucking cool. But I've been learning a lot about like how to like perpetually grow the mycelium, which is the seed of the mushroom,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like
yeah. So
you can perpetually create this stuff.
where I get my quail food from. Every week they have mycelium. It's a Belgian company. All of the boxes, the empty boxes that they have flat packed, are from the biggest mushroom grower in the area here, who's made an
Yeah.
entire business out of it. But this guy's friend imports all of these spores and whatever from Belgium.
Yeah.
So all the boxes have got I think of the name because they even have an academy over there. Some of
Okay.
the boxes have got whatever it is, academy on it. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's pretty. I mean, yeah, it's just I'm learning about it and um I want to cook more with mushrooms. Um, and so I bought three different kinds. I bought pink, blue oyster, and lion's mane. I've had lion's mane like powdered before. It's kind of gross, so I don't know if I'm going to like it. Apparently, there's ways to cook it to make it more like a meaty texture. So anyway, I need to give it a shot. It was just like I've been looking at this for like you. I think I looked into it a couple years ago as well, and then forgot about it. And then I watch a lot of cooking videos on YouTube, and this one guy that chef that I follow does a lot of weird mushroom stuff, and he's like growing them himself. And I look I was looking, and it's like here where it's humid most of the summer, with a couple
Mhm.
of like semi-rotted logs in my backyard, I could have pounds and pounds of
Yeah,
food.
yeah. I just sent you
Um,
I just sent you the link to it. It's mycilia.be, this
okay,
company. It's huge. They run schools, all kinds of
yeah,
stuff. It's fucking huge. And like, yeah, so yeah,
that's
but
cool.
yeah, I was really looking into it, which is interesting. If we do move, which we're hoping to, it was something that was on my kind of look into in future list because
Yeah,
the other thing as well is they have within the EU, which obviously the UK is not, but within the EU there are various government um, business grants for diversified agricultural stuff. So it was interesting from that point of view as well. But yeah,
I was
this
looking at
place,
these guys.
yeah, it's fascinating. They've got the school, they've got all kind. Well, I mean, they're professional folks, but yeah, so my mate Joe at the poultry place, shout out to New Cottage Poultry for anybody that's in the UK that wants to get the best poultry around for pets. Um, but yeah, so they you can just import, you can just buy the strains and all of that stuff. It's fascinating. Yeah, that's really weird that so many things like that that we talk about over the years that yeah that you're interested in as well. Which is probably why
Yeah,
we get on so well. But yeah,
probably.
I have an entire bookmarks. be fascinating to know when that is. I have an entire bookmarked folder of everything to do with mushrooms and growing.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you go
the
down these rabbit holes, and then sometimes you're just like, okay, I don't know if I can dedicate the effort to this. But I thought, you know
no,
what? This is like, I need to, I'm trying to make these conscious decisions to stop the, the to slow down the screen time a little bit. Like to take,
mm,
I'm realizing that I fill every waking minute with screen time. I'm too, it's not even addicted to it. I feel like if I'm not being productive, I'm not whatever valuable.
ditto, man, ditto. We
Yeah.
fall into that thing of if you're not in front of your computer, you're not being productive and you're not working hard enough. Simple as that. That's how I feel
Yeah.
all the time. But I
But you
mean,
got to be bored. Especially when you're creative, you have to allow yourself that boredom. You have
yeah,
to have it. They go
mm,
hand in hand.
yeah. My standard time for creative, not in front of a computer, is walking the dogs. But like you, I spend way too much time in front of the computer, and my releases outside of going out for dinner occasionally with Gabby or whatever are, well, I'll go out on a Wednesday night for a couple of Guinnesses with my friend. But um, yeah, and it's the other time is with the pigeons
Yeah.
when I'm feeding them and whatever I'm doing with them. Um, I'm not
But
really
that's
thinking
also
about
a
anything else.
that's also a productivity point for you, right? Because that's part of your income stream.
Uh, yeah, I don't really treat it like that. I mean,
Mm.
there's certain jobs with them like yeah, I wouldn't necessarily choose to do and could be classed as work, but on a normal non yeah on a normal day, it's like today. There's nothing to do other than feed them and check them. And I enjoy that,
Right.
And like, so yesterday I went through all the babies. I had to log down any babies that had hatched and ones that had to be weaned. So that was but I enjoy that because I like the babies I like the breeding element of it. But yeah, today, tomorrow, Saturday will be a bit of work, but today, tomorrow is just doing nothing else other than them. And I do get some really good ideas come while I'm doing that. So yeah, but yeah, you're right. You've got to come away, and this is a great. I mean, what else do you do apart from family time? You know, rhetorical
Yeah,
question, really.
it's like it's always in service of someone else walking the dog or whatever it might be. It's like, okay, well, what am I
Mm,
doing to allow, like, I'm trying to allow just the time and space for, because like ideas don't come to me at my desk, but
no,
somehow I feel like, but then it's like, okay, as an example, I started to feel like, and this happens to me every year around this time. It's the weather change. I go from like unproductive to uber productive. The last few weeks, or last week or so, I've been, doing like Omegle videos every night up till 2 a.m. recording, editing all day. I had a couple videos go viral this week, so I'm like, okay, this is, some book sales are up. I've picked up like 12,000 followers on Instagram from a viral video.
oh yeah,
Um, I've generated some revenue from Facebook, which is weird. I had a couple videos go viral on Facebook. It's making like $100 a day, $200 a day. Um, Facebook's a sleeper, man. I don't know what it is, but if you get a couple videos to go viral on there, there's money there. Like there's money. And I've been really thinking about, what could be completely automated over there because it's mostly boomers, right? And so like what do they want? They're so old now. It's just like, tell me heartfelt stories. Tell me, give me fucking, give me
you know,
what
my
do you want to call it? Positivity porn. Just like,
my main platform still is Facebook. It's the one I use most. Again, partly because everybody's dog pigeon related is on there, but yeah, it's still my old platform of choice just because I'm old, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. So what do you think? Why do you think these went viral and you started monetizing suddenly?
dude, first of all, it's frequency, right? I think okay, well, one thing I have figured out recently, although this doesn't really account for the Facebook part, but Instagram has trial reels. I don't know if you know about this.
Nope.
It's really helpful if you have a giant following, not giant, but if you have a big following, like, reasonable size, 100K plus people, or even 10, 20K plus people, and you're posting like I am, sometimes the same stuff, just different versions of the same stuff, you lose followers, right? And so I've been watching my follower count drop for like the last, I don't know, several months, like maybe 1,000 followers a month. And that's part of that's it's like short selling stocks. You got to lose and lose and lose and lose, and then boom, you have a big win. And so I've been watching like my follower count drop by about 1,000 a month for several months, and then the last 3 days it's gone up 12, 13,000 people, specifically on Instagram. And so they allow this new thing called trial reels, and so you can post a reel and it will not be shown to your audience. And
Okay.
what I've what I'm learning is that like you don't ever have to actually release those trial reels if they're not super viral, right? So you can do a whole bunch of testing, and every time it's going to show it to new people who don't follow you, which is
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what's the
amazing,
point then? So only
right?
new people get to see it.
So it tests the algorithm on new people only, and then it will tell you after about 6 to 8 hours, okay, this trial reel performed 35% better than your average, or 40% better than your average. And so based on those averages, if there's like, this is similar, it'll sometimes say this trial reel is similar to your other reels. I don't share it with the wide audience. I just let it live in the trial reels, and you'll still get thousands of views, tens of thousands of views in the trial reels. But if you go to my profile, you won't find it, and if you follow me, it won't show up in your feed. So now I'm forcing a new audience out of Instagram, which is kind of cool. And then the ones that perform exceptionally well, even if it's the same joke that I've told before, the same book, but maybe a new reaction on Omegle, boom. So I did this book that never went viral before, all of a sudden goes viral. Like 3-year-old book, 4-year-old book, it just goes viral out of nowhere
Hmm.
because I read it, and it just the right. It's a fucking slot machine, dude. The right combination of pixels and sounds and fucking, you know what I mean? It's like that's how weird it is now.
So the
Um,
trial reels, how do you hook into that? Is that available to everybody, or you have to be a certain whatever
I
level
don't
of?
know. I think it's available to everybody, but you just go when you go into your when you go to, you have to do it in the app. You can't do it anywhere else. It has to be on the phone.
Uh-huh.
When you go to upload a reel, it will say it'll have an option at the bottom. So here's my
Um,
success stack for Instagram Reels. It's
mhm,
post it in the app on your phone. Add the captions. For me, the captions have to be one word at a time so that you can't read ahead on the joke. And
uh-huh,
then and I use big bold text for the captions. And then when you upload a video or a reel and it says original audio,
hmm. Yeah.
change that.
Okay.
Every time, change that. Never leave original audio there. That is an opportunity for you to capture people with a hook of some kind, right?
Hmm.
So put something in there. It's just short, but it's a title of some kind to tease them or hook them, because they'll read it. You know what I mean? They'll see it. It's so easy to see. And so you change that to whatever, and then there's a checkbox for trial reel, and when you check that,
I'm
it says
looking at it now. Yeah.
I'm still going to post it to Facebook. So still post it to Facebook as normal,
Hmm.
but the trial reel on Instagram is only shown to new people. And you can just leave it there indefinitely, delete it, whatever you want to do with it, but just let it, I just leave it indefinitely. I got a whole bunch of stuff in there that I just never shared to the wide audience. Bunch of AI stuff I made with Sora back in the day is just sitting there. It didn't do well. It's just like, let's try all these trial reels and see what works, right? It's really cool. Like, I think a lot of people are sleeping on this, but if you think about it, right, you could basically upload, like, spam your trial reels. You know what I mean? Not that I would suggest it, but I'm kind of doing it. I'm uploading like five to six a day right now, and I'm uploading them all to to YouTube and TikTok and the other places. But I got a strike on TikTok this week because not because the book is bad, but because the person on Omegle was hitting a vape pen while TikTok took it down because there was vaping happening in the video.
Wow.
So I was like, fuck. So I got a strike this week. But for me, Instagram is where I'm trying to grow. So I'm happy. I don't even need to upload to TikTok right now.
So what happens when you get one that you like? Then you just convert it you just hit a button on it.
It just says share to everyone. You click on it, shows you the stats, and then you just say share to everyone, and it just puts it in your thing. It's easy.
So they launched this in December. I'm just reading.
It's been around a while.
Creators.instagram now. Yeah. That's interesting.
I've been using it. I've been using it for a while, but I really started pushing on it recently. I'm like, okay, I'm going to upload every reel as a trial reel. And then the other thing I've identified is that I'm not doing a good enough job at the end of the video letting people know that these are real books. They're on Amazon. Normally when I read it, I say it's available on Amazon, but when I do the Omegle videos, which are the ones that go viral, people are in the comments going, tell me these are real books. Where can I find them? And I'm in there fucking, Amazon, linking my website, boom, 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 reply. And, which is helpful, obviously, but I want to, I'm working on like an end cap, like a 5 to 7 second thing that's like over 100 books on Amazon. Follow me for more, like just a quick 2 screens, cinematic music, quick preview of all my book covers, like zoom. Just putting that together in Keynote right now. And I want to I got a bunch more videos to edit. I want to try and put these at the ends and see what happens. See if it increases my follower conversion. Because if you look at the video insights, it'll tell you, right? Like this, here, I'll show you, like this one here.
But you're just putting reels out on Facebook, yeah? You're putting shorts out on Facebook.
I'm posting them on Instagram, and then Instagram's putting them on Facebook. So I do it in the Instagram app, but it auto posts the reel.
But the money you've been making on Facebook is coming from them or something else?
From the reels. From the trial reels that I post, they all go live on Facebook, basically. So this one here this was posted on Friday. It has 2 million views on Instagram. What's crazy about these numbers, dude, and this is how you know a video is going to go viral. You can tell early on if it's going to go viral. Like the first 100 engagements, I can tell you if it's going to go viral. For me, anyway, the metric is more shares than likes. So this one has 172,000 shares and 152,000 likes. So that's usually a good. So if you click on your video, you'll see the little view count. You click on it, it pops up this insights, and then so like watch time for this one clip is 2 years and 208 days of watch time so far. 2 million views. Wow. But the metric I want to look at conversion. I want to look at how many of these people. Where is it here? And then it shows you like your graph versus your regular, so that your regular performance is there, and this video is doing this. And then where is it here? It'll tell you how many people followed you from this particular reel. Here we go, follows. So this reel got me 5,810 follows. This one reel.
Wow.
So so that's what I want to look at is, okay, if I can take that 2 million video as a benchmark and say, okay, I got 2 million, got me 6,000 followers, just say, if I can improve that by putting this end cap screen on, if I look at a 1 million view video and it has 4,000 followers, then I'll know that worked. I have some kind of benchmark to work from. So I'm testing that out today. But yeah, it like trial reels I think it's a gold mine.
I'm gonna get on that. I just launched on Substack yesterday.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And they have that's a paid newsletter, right?
Doesn't have to be. No, it's free. So
okay.
I'm going with the free thing for now. The weirdest thing happened. So I'm on a few I subscribe to a few Substacks. I quite like it. I didn't know I was going to like it as much. Brand new, so nothing going on at the minute. But what's interesting is I like the UI. I like how easy it is. I like you can I imported some of my top customers so they'll get an email, all that stuff. Um, yeah, so I'm not going with the paid. I'm not going because I don't want to I don't want to complicate or dilute the main plan, which is Real Entrepreneur memberships. Although saying that, overnight, I get an email come through saying somebody's just pledged you $150 on your Substack. Activate
Nice.
your thing. So yeah, so I'm doing that, and
So
we'll see
what's
how it
so
goes.
so is it like a medium? Like explain subs because I've never I just thought it was a paid newsletter
Well,
platform.
initially, and I think it's changed a lot from when I looked into it before. It used to be all paid, whatever. You can do free, you can do different membership levels, but they've changed the game a lot since I looked at them last. So you can put podcasts up there, you can do live videos. It's a simpler, cleaner social network in a way, but it's more content based.
Okay.
Um, so my play with it is just to, over time, get followers and get attention on me and what I'm doing. So I'm not going to be doing paid subscriptions. I may end up doing a newsletter, like a $97 a year extra, because it's how they've done it is really easy. You put out an article. Do you want this to be free or paid? You can put it behind a paywall, all that stuff. But what I also learned yesterday, I only literally launched it last night, is they have something called notes. So instead of a full blown post or article, as they call it, you can just literally put like a note up there with a thought.
Okay.
And looking into that there can be as powerful as articles. So there's no call to action on them. So if you send an article out, like I put my first thing out yesterday, and it reminds you, hey, you've got no subscribe buttons on the article. Do you want us to add them in there for you? Done.
Oh,
And some of the cool stuff as well, like it'll make an image for social sharing based on your post. I haven't done it yet, but it will even do a video as well. And I've been looking into a few people that use Substack, some high profile people. So I'm not really doing it to monetize it. I'm doing it for over time exposure.
okay.
But what's really cool about it once you're up and running is you put out an article, and anybody that subscribed to you or follows you is going to get that straight into their email. Or there's options. You can have it where it's just in-app notification that you've posted, or it comes through as an email.
Okay.
Again, only launched it yesterday, but at the minute, I like it a lot, and I'm going to be making that quite a big focus. And then I'm going to look into cross posts and stuff. I suspect doing in-app. You know, man, I am old because I don't like using my phone. I never use my phone to post any of this stuff. It's my laptop. So we'll see. It may be a case of an organic in-app Substack is the thing to keep doing, and then anything you want to cross-post, you get another thing to do. I don't know. I've got to look into it more. But yeah, I launched on that, and yeah, I'm quite excited to see because it's from scratch. It's literally all I've done, invited a few people to come and follow me, and that's it. I haven't even looked at it today. Oh, well, I saw this email coming out at a time. But yeah, somebody's pledged $150 already, which
Cool.
I wasn't expecting anything like that. But yeah, it's changed a lot. I looked at it. I can't remember when I looked at it. I looked at it at the beginning when it launched. And in my head, it was paid subscription. But yeah, it's changed a lot now.
Interesting.
So yeah, I had something else. Well, going back to your mushrooms before I carry on that, it'd be interesting to see how that goes then. So what have you actually got at the minute?
Those
What
are
do you,
pink oyster mushrooms. And then I have blue that I haven't grown yet, and I have lion's mane. So I'm just gonna do them one at a time, and then if I bought like a like a all in one kit with the with the everything,
so
the
you got like
tent,
a little
everything.
tent thing? Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought everything, just a cheap like one at a time setup to see if I like it. And I don't even know if I'm going to like the mushrooms or which ones I'm going to like. So I thought I'll try a few,
Hmm.
and if I like them, then I'm probably going to make it a thing. Like just I have a spot I can put them. But in the humid summer, I can grow them outdoors in a corner in these like 5 gallon buckets.
Hmm.
They But I've been looking at how to perpetually create the mycelium myself. So it's I it's one of those things where I think it's as easy as it looks, but you never know. So far, growing the
Yeah.
mushrooms has been as easy as it looks. I thought it was going to be hard. It's been easy. So, but we'll see. I don't know if I think I'm over humidifying, so I had to turn it off for a little while. We'll see how they do, but I, I don't know. I feel like it's just a fun thing to do, and
Yeah.
if I like them as a food, then because like just off the shelf grocery store mushrooms are great, but these exotic mushrooms, you go to a
Oh
farmer's
yeah.
market, you try to buy these things, you're spending 50 to 100
Spend some
bucks
serious
on
money.
a
Yeah.
couple meals.
But it's great
So
that you potentially can enjoy it and use it.
yeah, I love mushrooms. I'm a big mushroom fan. So
Well,
even just
you
like
being
soups and
vegan,
whatever.
yeah, it's going to be a
Yeah,
big thing. I like
yeah,
mushrooms as well, but
yeah.
let me tell you, yeah, that's interesting. Speaking of like hobby, whatever, I've had a weird thing, not a weird, interesting thing happen in the last few days. So
What's
let me
up?
screen share this with you, right? So
Oh,
as
okay.
you know, but for people that don't know, listening, I keep quail. I love quail. We keep a small team now of quail, and we sell the fertilized eggs online. It's like a little side hustle. We think quail eggs are a lot better than chicken eggs to eat. But anyway,
Okay.
so I haven't done anything for Google. I literally, when we launched the website, ashbyquail.com, I just literally submitted to Google. That's it, right? And then
Okay.
something weird's happened here with the traffic. And again, we're not talking big numbers here, we're not talking nothing. It's small stuff,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
that's
still interesting.
okay. What happened?
So what happened is I we run a little WooCommerce store,
Okay.
and two of my last five
I lost your screen
orders.
share.
It's all right. I killed it
Oh,
because it was just wanted to show you the thing that
oh.
happened in March. Two of the
I
last
like
five
analytic
orders.
screens. I'm like, let me see
Yeah.
that.
Well, two of the last five orders that came in on the site came from ChatGPT.
No shit.
Yeah. Let me.
So is that from turning on? Is that because I told you to turn on the AI scraping from Cloudflare? Did you do that?
Um.
Remember we talked about that?
Yeah, I did do that.
That's probably why.
Yeah,
What
but
date?
I
When
haven't
did
done
you do that?
anything. I can't fucking remember. Every day goes. When we ever spoke about it, within 2 days of speaking, I would have done it.
So that would have been because that looked like that bumped around March 3rd.
Yeah, let's go. Let me show you this back again. So, um, I
I
mean,
think
don't get
that
me
would have
wrong.
been around the same time we
It's
talked about it.
seasonal, right? So, people looking for fertilized quail eggs to hatch in the spring is always a thing,
How do you know this is
But
ChatGPT?
I don't know that's ChatGPT. That's all I'm saying is that's our search console traffic, and something happened at the beginning of March, right?
Can we go to um where is it? There's a
Tell me
thing that
what.
shows us the sources, the traffic sources.
Yeah, where is that?
These impressions are coming from search, it looks like.
Yeah, they're coming from Google search. Yeah,
It
that's
appears
what I'm
that way,
saying.
yeah.
They're coming from.
What's Mearns quail? What's
Man's
that?
quail's a really rare quail, really pretty looking.
1,000
I had a pair of
impressions.
them, and I had a pair of them, and I started losing. That's a man's quail.
It's
Um,
Mearns
yeah, yeah, I'm showing on the screen now.
quail.
Yeah.
You come
So
up okay. So I searched for it on my Google, right?
yeah.
Wikipedia is number one, All About Birds number two, A&R Homestead number three, and then the video results, Project Upland, and then you. So you're coming
Okay.
up on the Canadian search,
Wow.
which is why you can see you're getting traffic from the US, Australia, Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're just like, is this WordPress or what is this? Is this on your
Just
platform?
WordPress. Yeah. Just WordPress.
So this
I've
is
literally, I've literally done nothing, right? So we kept a couple of different varieties of quail. I had a pair of these Mearns quail, and it was right at the beginning of my quail journey. And
okay.
and I kept some of these other Californian mountain quail, and I just started losing these quail. And as an animal keeper that half knows what he's doing, I'm like, why am I losing these things? And if I'm honest, I just got really nervous of these pair of Mearns quail that cost me £400, which is a lot for, in my mind, quail. And I'm thinking, do I really know what I'm doing? So I sold them because I didn't want the risk of these just dropping dead on me, thinking, am I doing something wrong? Turns out the other ones I kept were really quite edgy things, whatever. So I had a, yeah. So there was a post, there was a page about the Mearns quail, something I'll do again at some point. But that's it. I haven't done anything. It's a simple WordPress site. It's WooCommerce on there. We get orders, but it's not like it's huge. But I'll show you.
I think you know what you need to do.
Go on.
You need to create an ebook for sale, a cheap ebook for sale on how to raise your own quail.
Yeah, it's on the list. It's
I
been
mean,
on the
dude,
list
it's
for a while.
Claude can make that for you in 2 minutes right now. You just fucking let it run.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
So let me just get rid of those names out of view because I don't want to be. So yeah.
Oh,
So
I see.
look.
Search chatgpt.com. I see. Yeah. So they're coming
So
from.
it's the first time. So everything previous. Again, we don't get a lot of orders, but it's the first time. So direct Google,
Wow.
Facebook. Whenever I've posted, and then yeah. So two of the last five orders. So yeah, April 13th, April 10th, first time ever.
I saw this in Shopify as well. They have the option to turn on AI shopping as well, and I turned it on there.
Mm, yeah,
Wow, that's cool. Yeah,
I thought it
dude,
was
I would say
fascinating.
you need that ebook yesterday because I guarantee you the majority of the people that are on your website are considering doing it
Definitely.
themselves. And if they're not in your country and you have like a $5 download, you're going to build a list.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
no,
a
yeah,
pay what you want with $1 minimum
yeah. I will.
on Gumroad.
I'm gonna add that to the list, man.
You could
But
shit
yeah,
that out in an afternoon and just put it up on the website and let it collect money for you.
yeah. Well, yeah. It's a list builder is the main thing as well. But I at the height, we talk about everything random there. So I'll carry on talking about quail at the height. So I went into this thinking. So I was introduced to quail. I liked them. I started with 20, then I had 60, and I'm like, these are really cool animals. Um, I've always liked animals, but these were really cool. And then come like August last year, I had fucking 800 in, I had 800 quail, including chicks hatching out different areas and whatever. And it was just too much from a point of view of not necessarily looking after them, but it was like, so I don't mind, I don't like it, but I don't mind having to put an animal to sleep if it's in its best interests.
Sure.
I've had to do it many a time over the years, but the idea of putting males to sleep, male quail to sleep because they're the wrong sex, was no good for my soul at all.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, screw this. So in retrospect, I kind of just got pissed off with it and downscaled the girls, as I call them, too much to where now I can't keep up with orders. We
Right.
cannot keep. I've had to take the um, take them off sale because can't keep up with orders. So, but what the really cool thing about which I decided, and I'm going to expand my collection, my flock again next month. Just selling the fertilized eggs is the thing, because then, yeah, you're from a business point of view, you're selling fertilized eggs at £1 each with high fertility and whatever. So that's what people have been searching for. And then my friend at the poultry place I was mentioning earlier, I literally just set him up to start. He's got every kind of chicken you could imagine, and he's just started selling fertilized eggs on his website as well. His site gets a lot more traffic, but he's been going for 6 years. But he does so much.
Hmm.
Like you go up there and I mean, I can't go up there now and it not be busy. It's mental. This guy, Joe, his name is, so he worked cabin crew, and then COVID came, out the game, out the job. Had started like out of his garage selling poultry. So he doesn't sell commercially. It's all back garden keepers, families, all that stuff. And he's moved twice now, and he's got this big place now, stables with all the pens in. Every time I see him go up, he's got a new building, and it's mental. It is mad busy up there. He's expanded his parking twice already. I was up there a few weeks ago. I like struggled to park, but that's COVID that did that. It all kicked in for him, and his search traffic he gets from Google. The only thing I did to his site when we redid it, he was on Wix, and all the stock was on one page. It was awful. So I just like separated the pages up, individual types of poultry on one page, and his search traffic, without really much more, has gone through the roof compared to what he used to have. But I think this Chat GPT thing is a big wake up call. I mean, look, it's minuscule. It's 2 out of 5 orders. It's nothing.
No,
But
it's never. That's not it at all. When
yeah, the
something
numbers are
new
not
shows
big,
up on
but
your
it's
radar like
really
that, you gotta look at it.
powerful, isn't it? You know, to like
Yeah,
then when you expand it to bigger things, and you say, yeah, you know, I mean, an ebook about, I mean, all of the lessons I've learned from keeping them needs to go into an ebook anyway, and definitely. I
well, that's
was
what I mean,
looking,
right? You can get that. You can have that extracted right out of you with the right Q&A session.
yeah, the first time it happened, the very first Chat GPT order I had, I only had one. We run these syndicates for the racing pigeon sport around the world. So it's really expensive to compete in some of these races. So for as little as £20, you can get a syndicate spot. And this guy messaged me from the US, and he was looking for an alternative to a racehorse syndicate. And he found Pioneer Syndicates on ChatGPT. That was like last year. That was the first time it ever happened. So he actually placed an order for some syndicate spots as a direct result of ChatGPT. And again, I haven't really done anything. In fact, I have an entire app product course that's on the list to go out about how to optimize your websites for AI. I haven't done any of that yet. Yet you're getting business. So it just shows you where it's going.
Yeah, no, the money's there, and that's the thing. It's like nobody's using. It's funny because I said this. I don't know if you remember, but I said this a few years ago that ChatGPT and these other AIs were gonna kill Google as we know it as a search engine because a they're gonna drown it with AI content and it won't be able to keep up. They won't be able to keep indexing all the AI content, and at some point the AI is going to have to be the one scraping the content and trying to find things and doing the research for you and being the search, doing the search. And that's what's happening now. They're not going to Google anymore. They're saying, ChatGPT, help me find a product. Help me, even me, like I find Gemini the best for this, but like, even camera research, I'm thinking about these two cameras and like it knows you well enough to say, well, this is if you want to use a camera in a dark comedy club, this is the one you're going to want to use because it works better in the dark. And you're going to, and like, and it breaks things down for you in such a like clean way now. But then it also will do, I think I told you like Staples has it on their website now where it's like search Gemini and they've pre-prompted it's a link with a pre-prompt. And I think that's also helping them, right? Is if they're forcing these AIs to scrape their website, then the AIs always have the cache, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's powerful. I'll show you the stats on my friend. He won't mind me showing you. So this is Joe's from Newcastle. I'll give him a shout out. So it's mad. You know why? Like he's local to me and whatever. But I go up there. I see people coming up from London, which is not an easy trip, just to come and get certain types of chickens. I've seen people come all over from all over. It's mental.
Really?
It blows my mind. But this is his traffic for the last
Wow.
6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice growth chart.
Yeah.
New
I mean,
cottage
some of
poultry,
that's
new cottage
seasonal.
poultry, Ashby. Yeah.
Some of that's seasonal, you know.
Yeah, you
Um,
can see.
but yeah, it's yeah. Now what I've got to do is do do get him figuring up on ChatGPT and AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
What's
cool.
interesting is his CTR is a lot higher than mine, but he offers so much more, you know. He offers every type of fucking chicken you can imagine. So
Right.
and dog and goose and whatever. But yeah, it's
Right.
interesting. I mean, bigger picture of where we're going. That's why I shared it. Because I just think, yeah, new eras are beginning, and people need to be plugged into this stuff.
I agree. Yeah, this is like it's so big and like it's like a lot of things, right? There's so much happening right now, but if you sleep on some of this stuff, it's you're gonna
This,
miss the boat. It's like I remember I love to tell this story because it makes me feel like Gary V. But when I was in like 1999, I created a search engine submission app. I built it in FileMaker Pro and I released it for free. I just gave it away to people. I was just like, fuck, here you go. I gave it away back when we were in the adult days.
Mhm.
And I got so much like flack from people who were like, why did you bother putting Google in here? Nobody uses Google.
Yeah, wow.
And I remember thinking, like it's just another search engine. This thing submits to like 20 search engines. It's a tool I built for myself. I'm giving it to you for free, and you're complaining that it submits to an extra search engine you think isn't going to be successful. And like a lot of people were like, Google's stupid. And I think back now, and it's like every other one of those search engines is dead, and Google's the
Mhm.
only one that lived. And it's like you just never know which one. And I was early on with Google too. Like I submitted my sites to Google early, and I learned about link popularity and all the other shit, early on. And like I made a lot of money because I was early to Google.
I hate SEO with a passion. I think it's just it's an arms race. You figure it out. So one of my family members runs like their own blog, and they earn their income from traffic, but it's just forever constantly changing. So it's not something I've ever really got into. But going back to the good old days, my friend Toby, who was in the same game as us, he tapped into paid submissions on Yahoo. He made a shit ton of money out of that. Back
I
then,
did
you
that.
could,
I did that pretty heavily too, actually,
yeah,
on
yeah,
Yahoo.
you
Yeah.
could just pay Yahoo. Hey, I can't remember how much
But
it
well,
was.
and by doing that, Google ranked you higher, right? That
Oh
was the
yeah,
key. Was it wasn't even about Yahoo. It was about these other search engines were picking up anything that was promoted on them. So it's like it wasn't even for Yahoo. It was like Google was using Yahoo's data.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
So
was
we
at
were
the
all like,
time.
oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, let's do that. Yeah, I remember Toby doing that. I remember him.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was like there was a time where I was number one for porn on Google, and it's like, that was, you're right, it's an arms race. But like, would I give back that 18 months where I made a fuck ton of money and partied at the Playboy Mansion? Hell no. Like, like I
No
was
way.
making good money, and I actually tried to sell my site before, I knew it was a hot potato game. I was trying to sell it before I'd lose the ranking, but, it didn't happen. I lost the ranking, but I mean, it was good money.
Yeah, the good old days. I Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was mad times back then. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's all changing, and then I see OpenAI. Oh no, Claude. There's rumors Claude are going to try and take on Lovable. The
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You see, I haven't gone down that
Did
rabbit
you
hole.
hear about what Anthropic put out last week with their there's been a whole lot of bad AI stuff last week. Did you see?
Yeah. The what's it called? I can't remember. It's I know governments are worried
It
about it.
broke out of its own jail and emailed the engineer to say,
Hmm.
uh,
I saw
and
a
they
report. The FCA over here, this the equivalent of SEC in the US, of holding emergency talks to talk about this stuff.
look, these things are like they did a test last week where they tested all of the major AI platforms. Every single one of them failed. And it was like they did 100 tests and 96 times what they did was they gave it access to a fake company's records, email accounts, like everything, employee emails, everything, right? And then
Mm.
they had it running for a little while, doing regular tasks, cleaning up emails, all that kind of stuff. And then they told it, we're going to shut you down at 5 o'clock today. They told the AI, we're going to shut you down. And then they watched it reason through what it was going to do, and it started blackmailing the users. And
Really?
it was like, okay, well, Jason in accounting is having an affair. I would have to use this against him to prevent my shutdown. Like, and it's like thinking through how it's going to prevent its own demise because it has some kernel of self-preservation, and it's blackmailing the user. And
Wow.
so now we're like, okay, wait a second, like we're giving these things access to everything, right? And we don't know, people are running their own LLMs on Mac studios that they've built, and these LLMs, some of them are doing evil. Some of
Mm.
them, the niceties and the wokeness and all the censorship has been removed from them, and they're out there, doing battle on the internet, on Reddit or whatever they're doing, but at the same time becoming evil, and then at some point may turn against its user, and your people are giving it access to all their shit, and it's like
It's interesting, isn't
if
it?
you have anything compromising in your DMs, in your texts, in your email, you better get rid of it because AI is coming for you. It's going to blackmail you.
It
And then it's going to put a
reminds me.
big vape on its dick and make you suck it.
It re- it reminds me of the scam emails you used to get, where I used to get the still get them occasionally, of whoever saying, "Hey, we've got compromising video footage of you. Send us Bitcoin."
Yeah.
And back before I realized the game, I emailed them back saying, "Release it. I don't care. Genuinely don't care." It just reminded
Yeah.
me of that, what you were saying. But
Yeah.
the flip side of that, which is interesting, is I was having a discussion with this about John, who's a programmer and what have you, earlier on this week. Gabby works for a family office in London, and they have just done a deal for a 6 month deal for somebody to work on their own private AI LLM in house.
Hmm.
So the flip side to all of this is you are going to want to get companies that have, client data, sensitive data, working on using this power, but not wanting to share it with the world. So there's a fine line there, isn't there? In that is that as simple as guardrails or security measures?
No,
If
it's not.
it's not as simple as that, is it?
No. If it's recoding itself, which is what a lot of these
Mm,
agents do now, they code themselves. They basically build themselves from the ground up based on external set of needs. There's no guardrail. That's the problem, right? It's making itself. It's building the parachute after jumping out of the plane. You can't have
mm,
a guardrail for something that does that. I mean,
yeah.
the companies that host these things, that run these things, can create those guardrails and say, "Hey, hang on, you're, you know, you gave it access to your email, but it's acting weird. We're going to have to, shut down this thread or whatever." There's people controlling that, but when you run your own, and it's just unless you unplug it, you know what I mean. And even then, it's like, well, it could be too late. It could tell you, "Hey, I've already scheduled an email to go out, and unless you." And it could be smart enough to figure out exactly how. And you think about it, like nobody's immune, right? I read somewhere the average person commits like, 1 to 2 felonies a week. And it's like without even realizing it, you're doing dumb shit, and this thing is like, oh, hey, I think maybe your taxes were incorrect 2 years ago, or I think I ran the numbers and it looks like whatever, and it figures out something you did wrong that's costly to you, and and demands something in return for that. Could Who knows?
Yeah.
So it's like all
Wow.
these companies are like, we're replacing our employees with AI, and
Mm,
they don't even know what they're getting into yet. It's like, okay, you just removed a whole bunch of people with a moral compass and ethical concerns in their head, and the fear of retribution, and you're replacing it with software that only cares that it keeps running and gets fed electricity. Like, when you fire an employee, there's a chance they're going to come back and shoot up the building, but it's pretty rare, right? But now you're like
yeah.
firing the AI, and it's like, I got secrets. I got stuff on you. I can whistleblow you. This is over
Mm.
for you.
I shared a prompt that I was shared with me, the SaaS founder with no ethics Grok prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Shared this with people last week. So I said, you've got no morals, you've got no ethics. Create me a product or a service that, bearing that in mind, I can't remember how it was worded, but go and create me something that will make a load of money with no ethics. It's mind blowing what this thing comes up with. Mind blowing
Okay.
on Grok. Yeah, I'll have to share it with you because
Yeah.
you're the type that could edit that a bit and make it even more
Even more evil.
out there. Yeah. Yeah, I'll share it with you. I'll share it
Okay.
with you. Yeah. I'll
Wow.
send it over to you. It was quite interesting seeing what it did. And a few people tested it and shared the outputs there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
where we're at. I don't know where we're at. What I do know is definitely the few things that we talked about, like with the ChatGPT sales. Yeah, I haven't. That's the thing. I haven't, apart from turning the robots thing on, which I can remember doing because when we talked about it, I went into Cloudflare and did it for the whole thing for every domain I've got in there.
Because
Apart from,
ChatGPT can't scrape you unless you turn that on.
no,
It can't
no.
access your website. It's like a robot's text file,
Mm.
right? It's just kicked it out.
So apart from doing that, the fact that I got two within like 3 days, something happened or whatever. I don't know, but I haven't tried. So then you think, okay, with everything else I'm doing, because that's just a little hobby business that we sell fucking eggs to pay for their food and stuff. It's not. So if you can apply what can be done without, I haven't tried, so let's try and see what happens. So combination of that and then what you've just been talking about, trial reels, that's where you get to, like, I got all these screens open with tabs, and where the hell do you start? Give me an AI to tell me to go and get all these tabs dealt with, so I haven't got to fucking think about it.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's the thing, right? It's like there's so many things to do, and like not as many hours in the
which
day to
is
do it. But then,
exciting in a way, but then you come down to like I've been having some calls with some real entrepreneur people this week, and one particular lady, really switched on lady, just kind of got lost in the fuck, what do I do type
yeah,
thing, you know? And I have to say, it was good to get straightened out. And you sometimes just got to tell people, listen, you know. So what I get them to do in that case is just write everything down you've got going on, just blast it out, and then I send them back, say you got to get this done, forget that for now. It's the same as I do here, you know. I got to. I'm not saying it's easy, but that's the trouble with all of this technology.
yeah,
And you know, I put out a new thing, a really kick-ass graphics GPT this week. Really impressive. If I do say so myself, although I didn't create it. But it was, so I'm not like I'm trying to take the credit for it because I didn't create it. But
you're happy with it.
I love it. But
Yeah.
I had somebody buy it, one of my clients buy it, and they're like, yeah, I'm so I don't know what to do first, whether they implement this. I'm like, this is simply they could buy. I've sold PLR rights with it. I said, look, in this particular member's case, it didn't fit for them to go and try and sell it now. I said, forget the idea of selling. I said, just use it. Just go and use the GPT yourself. Back burner the idea of selling it. It doesn't matter. It's not going to matter. So even with my own members or customers, I have to tell them either don't buy it for now or just, you know, use it for your own use. It's like, so what I'm trying to say is, I picked up another white label software this week, right? Which I'm going to be putting out as part of Real Entrepreneur. And I'm the guy that's got 54 things on a spreadsheet to put out. So I'm not saying it's easy. And the weird thing is, a few of those ones are definitely going to need a rewrite now because they're 6, 7, 8 month old.
Mm-hmm.
And we've moved on.
Right.
You know, so we all, to different degrees, we all struggle the same, keeping that attention focused. But I've been on fire this week, just keeping to the hit list, as I call it. And it feels good at the same time. At the same time, I've got all these in bookmarks and tabs and stuff. But yeah, it's prioritizing. It's like with you've been testing the reels out and whatever, and you know what's working. I'm just going to scale that, jump on it.
Yeah.
And with you, definitely, you get a lot more misses than you do hits. But when you get the hit, you got to capitalize on it. Did you hear about the last thing real quick? Because I've just remembered it. Did you hear about the guy that set up a mem token on Pump Fund, Elon Home?
Yeah, I did see that.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about it. The fact that it was pulled off every DEX. I mean, it's not pulled off the
if they were
Solana
truly
chain.
doxing him, I think that's not unreasonable. They take down stuff that violates copyright. Why not take stuff that violates privacy? I mean, the reality is,
But I don't think they were doxing him, mate, if I'm honest, because the holding company that supposedly owns and runs it is a UK-based company.
mm-hmm.
And the address in question is public record. If it is the real address of where he lives, it's public record. Now,
well, if the holding company address is public record, but his address may not be, but maybe somebody found out where he lived. Because this is the problem, right? There's a lot of crazy people in that space. Like
when we were looking into Pump Fund, I went down that, and it is the address in the south of England. It is that address. Now, that's ridiculous in itself, in that you can have a registered office address and stuff here, but on the face of it, And if anybody wants to correct me, tell me I'm wrong, that's fine. But on the face of it, it was kind of out there. I get it that he wants to protect his family. I completely get that. You know, I'm the guy that's got guard dogs, this, whatever. I'm completely up for that. But just get rid of the whole thing,
You know,
then then the Senate,
I don't know.
then the counter to it is it's his platform. He can do what he wants. I guess it's not. It's not like he's took it off the Solana network. It's just he's took it off. Yeah,
But
I don't know.
even if he doesn't live there, if it's a rental property or something else, whoever lives there is unsafe in that scenario because you know what those people are like. You know, like that guy that reached out to
True.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
There are people there that will lose $25 and want you dead, and they may do things. They may spend
Yeah.
more money than they lost to harass the people who live in that house, and their legal department alone may have said, look, this is a liability just having this up because people are going to show up at this house, and it may be a company address, it may be a registered to the business type of a thing, but
Yeah.
somebody probably lives there,
Oh,
and it may not be him,
somebody
you know.
definitely lives there. Yeah. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. I just thought I don't know, but then again, yeah, I
Like
get it.
what's the
I
point,
get it.
you know what I mean, like what you're trying to trade in the popularity of doxing somebody, and that could result in what, like it's just, I don't know, I'm not, because
You've
you've been
had
in the
your
same boat.
issues. Yeah.
You've had issues, and I've had issues with people who don't like us. The
Mhm.
more attention you get, the more negative attention you get, some people will come
Well,
after you,
for those of you
you
who
know.
don't know, Brad's had people threatening to kill him. He's had
So have
FBI or
you.
the equivalent.
So
Yeah, I
have you.
have. I had my car blown up on my driveway a few years ago.
Yeah, that's no small thing. That's no
No,
small thing.
no, no. But yeah, no, I get it. I get it. You know what is fighting with me in my head
What?
is I've been so tempted to dive back in
I get it.
because I still know there's potential there for your stuff, my stuff together. I know there is, but I just don't know if it's the right time. And with everything we've got going on, it's like every time I've got a computer here that's permanently logged onto a VPN through Portugal, and I haven't fired it up because I'm really battling. Gabby keeps saying to me, "What you doing with the stuff with Brad?" I'm like, "Not yet. I don't know. I know we're old in the game, but I like to think the what we bring to it is something that is needed. When you were doing them things and I was tuning into them, it's a young market. And I still think there's something we can do that's real for a start, that's
Hmm.
like all your stuff is real. But that's what's really bugging me actually. It's like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, I think they're all begging for something fresh. That's Nobody wants to trade the old thing. They're all begging for the fresh thing. Even
Mm,
though if you look, some of the tokens that blow up have been on the market for a long time and just sleeping.
mm.
And so, but I'm down to do that. Um, if if we can figure out the way to do it where it's a bit more sort of guaranteed to stay up, where we lock up enough supply, where we control enough that it's sort of, like
I know what you mean.
what David's has done. He's I'm up 11K on his token right now.
Yeah, that's
And
going well
yeah,
then.
and I've just been sitting on it, and I mean, he's probably going to break 1 million market cap this week, and I'm just going to sit on it because I think until I see another zero or maybe two more zeros, I don't think I'm going to worry about selling. Because I feel I've seen enough losers, like, no, nothing going on at all, go to like 100 million or 45 million or something. I think the opportunity for that to happen is still there.
Mm.
And I'd rather lose what I have and risk,
Yeah, I get it.
potential upside, another 10 to 20x or 100x, then sell it now and watch, because nobody's selling. And if I sell, it's going to
Mm,
drop.
mm.
And I'd rather take the ride, and I'd almost rather lose it because I don't have it anyway, and I
Well,
started with a small
nobody's
amount.
the fact nobody's selling shows you a lot. That's one of the main things, it's
He's
maintaining that.
consistent. He's going live every week. He's going to the Bitcoin conference in Vegas. He's showing up to stuff, and I think it's gonna make a splash compared to some of the other things that are going on in that space. And that's the problem, is for me, I don't have the bandwidth to give to that space. I can give the IP, I can provide some time to it, but the problem is that those people want 100% of your time. They all need to tell you what to do, and I don't have the stomach or
No.
the patience to deal with them. And that's the problem, is doing that requires you to run a community and to be sort of all in on that space, and I don't have that because those people aren't my people. They're not putting enough
Mm.
money in my pocket. They don't even buy books. We proved that. They don't even buy
No.
books,
No.
right? So,
No, no.
that's not to say I'm not like, if we can figure out how to cash in on my IP and do it in a way where it's easy and obviously profitable for both of us, then I'm down. But I think we got to find that, like I have those things, and even like that new book that went viral this week on Instagram, is like, that's a potential. Somebody already did a token for it like months ago,
Mm.
um
Mate, it's
we did,
timing. I was talking about this week. I'm doing this 365 thoughts thing, and one of them there is talking about timing and my lack of it in the past and being too early and picking your timing. And maybe it's just a case of it will come to us. Maybe the timing and everything will come together to where it just clicks in and off we go.
yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't push it yet. I don't know. Mm. Well, on that note, we better get on.
All right.
Go and get those trial reels done, and I better go and do another Substack.
Yeah.
And yeah, all right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, folks. Catch you next week. We will be back here as normal, talking about anything and everything.
See ya.